Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I was watching the Creative Takeover podcast, and they were talking about witchcraft. So, like, how do we follow up witchcraft?
No idea.
I was thinking, bring in a magician, maybe.
That would work.
So, we got the Smokin' Poetry podcast. I'm Mike Harris, co-hosting for the day.
That's me, Ferret.
And my friend Miles is going to bring you so much magic. Like, I don't know how much kind of quantities of magic we're going to get.
Miles of magic, obviously.
Oh, well, miles of magic it is. What's a miles of magic trick we can start with?
Well, I brought something special for today. This is a prediction. You can tell it's a prediction because it says prediction in my wonderful hand scratch. Handwriting was never my strong suit, as you can see. But I'm going to have you hold on to that for me, and it's your turn. We haven't finished. So we have a deck of cards here, and you can see that all the cards are different. If you can get a shot of that, all the cards are different. It's a standard deck one that you can buy at any magic shop, and I'd like Mike to. I'm going to go through the cards just like this. Give them what's called a Hindu shuffle. What's a Hindu? It lays eggs. So, I'm going to go through the cards just like this. And while I go through, I'd like you to say stop whenever you want to. Preferably before I run off cards.
I can't stop laughing, so stop.
Stop right there? Okay. All right. Now, I'm not going to look, but I would like you to look. Please don't tell me what it is. Can you see the card?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can the camera see the card? Cool. Hold out your hand for me. And I'd like you to hold on to that securely so it does not get away. And now comes your part. Open up the prediction, and there should be a big card and one big card only. And this card is the 7 of Hearts, which I believe is the card that you selected.
And this is where I look.
It should be, yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay. So how do we do this? This is where we got to find the secrets, right?
Well, first time is magic, second time is education. You don't go to a magic show to be educated. So,
actually, that is kind of like a thing, isn't like the whole magician's secret,
right.
right? How do you like get to the magician's secrets? That's like what we're trying to figure out here.
Well, there's many ways you can do it. Obviously, with modern day, there's internet. So you can just Google things, and that's kind of unfortunate for a professional magician. But there's also books, DVDs. People still use DVDs, and if you're lucky, you can get a mentor of a professional magician to kind of help guide you. I myself am kind of a self-taught magician, so I kind of learned through internet, books, and DVDs, and like I said before, occasionally I got lucky meeting other magicians, and they would give me like pointers, like, "Hey, do this instead of that." I'm like, "Okay, thank you. I'll follow some of your advice." So,
what kind of books would you recommend for someone getting into magic?
there's a couple of them. One for like really young kids, I think, would be a very aptly named Magic for Kids by a magician named Fay Presto. That's yes, that is their real name. Faypresto, Fay Presto, and they have a good starting point with like. With me, the beginner tricks are kind of more like arts and crafts, and I wasn't that good at arts and crafts. I would just I would get the resident grown up, like, "Hey, can you make this so I can just do the trick?" So I was lazy like that. But if you're arts and crafty, that's a good book to start with, and also another good book, anything by John Tremaine. That's he is. I consider him to be like the greatest magic book writer. That's JONTREMANE. And one book that I highly recommend is Magic for Grown-Ups.
Okay, so we got magic for kids
kids.
and magic for grown-ups.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
a theme.
Yes.
Is there a magic for elderly people?
If I get old enough, yes.
There will be.
There will be. Yes.
How long have you been doing magic?
Since 6 o'clock this morning. That's a joke. That's a joke. I don't wake up at 6.
No.
So,
Okay. And are you like magic all the time?
yes, pretty much. Yeah, magic. When I'm not doing magic, I'm pretty much thinking of like comedy and poetry. Kind of appropriate for this podcast, but yeah.
Where did we leave off?
I think you asked me where. How long have I been doing magic? And then I told it horrible joke. But
Well, it was a great joke, but why don't you tell us for seriously? Because it's a serious podcast.
Yes, it is a serious podcast.
How long have you been doing magic?
I want to say, I don't know the exact years, but I want to say I started when I was about 5 years old. And because I don't remember a time when I wasn't doing magic. And when I was younger, I kind of shuffled around between one professions. Like, I want to be an actor, I want to be a magician, I want to be a ventriloquist, writer, and they kind of just, like all kids do, like, I want to be this, I want to be that. Different interests. And I finally realized, magic can kind of combine all those things together. So I decided to stick with magician, and I kind of just combined all the skills that I acquired into one big casserole of unemployment.
That is one thing I really do appreciate about your act is like you have a one-liner for everything. So
Try to, yeah.
it's like it's a good kind of balance between magic and comedy, and it
Right.
kind of keeps you on your toes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How long has the comedy been part of the? Has it always been part of the magic act, or has that come later?
Yeah, I'd say it was always there was always comedy in there. I kind of grew into it more as I got older. Like, comedy is a powerful tool with magic, because when you laugh, you're more impressed by the magic because you're laughing, and then something amazing like, oh, okay, so I was laughing, but then the thing disappeared. What? Okay, so,
I would imagine you could probably throw out the magic and just do a comedy routine.
probably.
Have you tried that?
Yes, not in a professional setting, but yes, I have done, like, when I was younger, my party trick was reciting stand-up routines that I had memorized from people, along with my sister, one of my sisters is also very talented with memorizing things.
Who are some of your favorite comedians?
Comedians? Okay. I like some older people and some dead guys and some modern ones. Most when it comes to older people and dead guys, it's the Marx Brothers, Abbott and Costello, and a lot of the silent performers. Like my favorite one is Buster Keaton. His stone-faced comedy is just brilliant, and also some modern people like, I don't know, Jerry Seinfeld and Mike Birbiglia, if you're familiar with Mike Birbiglia at all, and who's the guy? Kyle Kinane, who is wonderful. I actually saw him live a few years ago when he came to Denver, and it was
Nice.
amazing. So.
I've noticed, not that we don't want you to give up the magic, of
Right.
course, and I noticed there's so many different kinds of magic.
Yes.
And not that I want you to badmouth anyone, but there's one thing I like about you is you're right there in your face, so you know it's not special effects or
Right.
what have you. I mean, do you think there's in some of these shows, is that a thing they do? Like kind of, I don't know if it's we would call it cheating, but what would you call it?
Well, all magic is cheating, but what Teller actually said of Penn and Teller had a great response to a similar question. He said, "When magic is in person, you know the rules. When it's on TV, you don't know the rules because with an editor, you can do whatever you want. Like they can choose what angle, what take to use, what reaction to use, whatever. But with in person, it's the rules of reality. When if it's on TV, I could just snap my fingers all and also then be in Paris.
Right.
So yeah, that's the best trick you can do on TV. So,
Don't worry, we don't have that technology on Spoken Poetry Podcast. What, like, are there like categories of like would you like you would put like cards as one category and like another title for like the boxes, or how would you divide magic up?
well, that's well, with cards we would refer to that as close-up magic, and with the boxes that's more like stage and illusions are more of it's kind of an art term, like it's an illusion. So so those are certainly more bulky, but with cards there's more skill and there's practice with the illusions as well, but there's more exercise involved in the cards.
The sleight of hand.
Exactly. Yes, that was the word I was trying to. I forgot my own word. So, with close up, it's more like intimate, and I mean, I could do something that's similar to that could be done on stage. But can I borrow your hat?
I'm a little nervous about this. I like this hat.
All right. So, do you see anything in the hat?
A little dandruff.
A little dandruff. That's weird. Yeah, I think it's weird. It's weird because it's weird with mine, but I think I see a little hair in there.
Yeah.
And there's a little hair in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But this is a little rabbit. But you normally I have. Did I not bring it? Oh no. I usually have two for this, but I don't have two today. Tell you what, we'll split this one half, and we have two. That's what you call splitting the hairs.
Oh, nice.
The jokes don't get any better. But these two rabbits, they're both trained to do some magic, and they both have names. I forgot to mention that. This one's name is Abe. He's honest, and this one's name is Anna. This is Abe, and this is Anna. Anna and Abe. When we put them together, we make Abe and Anna. Like I said, the jokes don't get any better. But which one do you want, Abe or Anna?
I'm gonna go with Anna.
Anna.
Actually.
Okay, hold out your hand flat on the table. Okay, and you said Anna, correct?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna take Abe, and I'm gonna squeeze him real tightly in my hand. I'll do the same with Anna. Squeeze it real tight, real tight. Let go of my finger. Let go of my finger. Thank you. You have a death grip. Okay, so blow on my hand, and blow on your hand, please. Now, did you feel anything happen?
No.
No? Well, I felt mine go. Mine's gone. How about your hand? What do you have? You have both Abe and Anna. So, this time what we'll do is I'm going to give you both. Okay, I'm going to give you both Abe and Anna. So
Are you
squeeze.
gonna give me a banana? All right.
Yeah, Abe and Anna, exactly. So, and we'll let you do the magic this time. Just say any magic word that pops into your head.
Alakazam.
That's the name of the magician that could not be here today. But okay, put up your hand. You can see that they breed like rabbits.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta ask you a question. Because I love the part of your act is like you pretend to make a mistake and it's always like there's a comeback. Do you ever really make a mistake?
Oh, yes.
What happens? I mean, how would anyone even know?
Well, you don't. But I try to save myself as often as I can. And that goes back to what you say. I try to have a cover line for everything, including the mistakes. So, and sometimes the mistakes are just there.
Well, that's one thing that I always run into as a performer is like, there's always gonna be mistakes that happen, especially like I have a lot of technical malfunctions that I have to deal with on stage, and it's always terrifying to know what to do in those moments, and you always seem to handle it really gracefully.
On the outside, yes. On the inside, I'm having a mental breakdown. But
And I find that very interesting because you are like the coolest character I have ever seen on stage.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, and again, it's like it seems like everything is so meticulously like perfect when you do your routine. I can't imagine that you're actually nervous watching you.
Yes. I've learned there's this show business. I learned early on, if you're not confident about performing, then you fake it. So and if you continue to fake your confidence, you will trick yourself, magician. You will trick yourself into having real confidence. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
And if you're faking good enough, no one can tell either way. So,
True.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
Have you ever like kind of looked into like the history of magic and like how far back it's gone?
Oh yeah, not to like an academic sense, but I find things that are like interesting about history in magic, because if you study the history of anything, you can find interesting things about just the world in general. So, yeah. I lost my train of thought there, but yeah, I have done some magical history study.
Could I just imagine like 2,000 years ago, you would have been like a prophet in the or like one of those kind of characters if you could do your stuff.
Or ashes.
Or, well, I guess there was also probably people thinking you were witches. I made my witchcraft show.
Yes.
Anything interesting about the history of magic?
Well, I was gonna ask, actually, is there like a recorded first magic trick, or?
There is some speculation. We don't know if this is true or not, but there is some who believe, it hasn't been proven, so don't quote me on this. There's a tomb in ancient Egypt in Beni Hassan, the Beni Hassan tomb, of two magicians doing one of the said to be oldest tricks in the history of magic, called the cups and balls. There's like two guys with what appeared to be cups and balls, appeared to be two cups between them doing something, but we don't know because it's, and someone, Penn and Teller actually discovered this. They point this out. The reason why we think of Egypt as so mystical is because American and English magicians at the beginning of the 20th century painted hieroglyphics on their props, make them seem more mystical. So that's why we associate. So when I said, if I said to you, yeah, there's an old trick on the tomb of a wall in Egypt, you probably go, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it tracks.
Now, I should point out we are here at Ultra Flat Black.
Yes.
And in Colorado Springs, 603 West Colorado Avenue. And you've kind of come to Colorado Springs out of nowhere here, it seems like. Where do you, just like a couple months ago or so, you just...
Yes.
You started showing up
You
here.
just appeared like magic.
Exactly. What was like, where did you come from?
Well, in a galaxy far, far away. No, I'm a local from Colorado, not the Springs. I'm like east of the Springs, in near Peyton, not actually in Peyton, but the address is Peyton, Colorado. But so it's out in the middle of nowhere. So like Kansas, but classier. So apologies to anyone who's from Kansas.
No one's watching the show from
Kansas.
that far away. If you are, please give me a thumbs down. I don't care. Anything.
I got a
Blame
speeding
me.
ticket in
Yeah.
Kansas. Hate that place. Anyways.
Yeah, and they rip. Sorry, side tangent. They rip off our signs. By the way, like, yeah, when you enter in, when you leave Colorado into Kansas, it says you are now entering Canorado. What? You're trying to pretend. That's how low you are? You're trying to pretend to beat us? Like, what? Okay.
Yeah, Kansas wishes it was Colorado.
Yeah.
Were you doing magic out in the plains there? Or?
I was I was doing things like locally. I started off really performing magic at a local grocery store, collecting for charity, like people with prostate cancer, muscular dystrophy, breast cancer, and disability, and I would collect donations, and the people who worked in that area of the store would give me like $20 and free chicken.
Nice.
So,
Hey, free chicken. I'll do a show for free chicken.
oh yeah,
There's a whole other side of the show
Oh, yeah.
that includes jogging.
Yeah, so actually, we've seen a lot of, I guess, 5-10 minute kind of shows mostly, but I haven't had the pleasure of seeing a long, like, performance. What is a long, like, regular performance for a magician?
it would be like 30. For me, it's 30 minutes to an hour, so I can do like 2 30-minute sets. As of right now, I have that down, and I'm trying to always add new things. Unfortunately, they're all like close up, so they're not good for like a stage type thing. But I'm trying because I don't really want to go out and buy a big prop to just make and see if and never do it. So.
Do you ever do any like just like magic on the street, like with just pedestrians?
That was not. I have done something similar to that in the grocery store arena. But I had like a little table. It was like kind of like a carnival bar. Like, hey, come over here to my table, and I will show you something, and then you can go away. Just don't leave your kids with me because I'm not a babysitter. And they would often do that. And so, but not really in the David Blaine, like urban environment. So not to that extent. Because I don't think I fit that genre of magic. Have you seen the way I dress? So.
Well, hey, I mean, I feel like it might attract some attention out on the street. You know?
True, yes. Peacocking, yeah.
Are you doing this like full time magic, or is this like a part time hobby?
I want to make it full time, if possible. So if you know anybody, who can hire me. So.
Like, what type of gigs or places are you looking to do things at?
Places like Ultra Flat Black and like people and. Or if a theater wants me, then more power to them. So, yeah, just a place where I can regularly do my act.
I mean, you could do like weddings and bar mitzvahs kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Probably not funerals, but yeah.
Well,
no, I want you at my funeral. If it,
actually, yes, but I want mine to be a little different. Please, maybe you can make people think I've risen from the dead or something.
I will saw your corpse in half, so you'll be beside yourself.
Yeah. What else? What other pots do you have?
Well, I have all kinds of questions.
Spit them out.
All right. So I have a 2-part question.
Okay.
What is the first trick you learned, and what is the most recent trick that you learned?
Okay, well, the first trick that I learned, if I can find my cards, you actually just saw the most recent trick, which was the prediction one.
Okay.
But the first ever trick, I think this is the first trick that I learned, that I remember learning. So you can see that we'll remove the jokers, so we don't need them because there's only room in the show for one joker. So like I said before, I've removed the jokers because there's only room in the show for one joker, and that joker is Joaquin Phoenix. I'm kidding. It's Heath Ledger. And what I'd like you to do is just select out any card that you'd like, any card. Okay, don't show it to me, but show the camera and show Mike. Let me know when you've seen that. Has everyone seen it? Okay. Now I'm gonna go through the cards like this, and whenever you want to, you just tell me when to stop. Preferably before I run out of cards.
Stop.
Okay, right there. Do you want me to stop there or go a few more?
Go a few more.
Okay, once again, I like the suspense. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, right there. Okay, place your card right there. Okay, now, I would like you to focus on the color of the card. Just the color right now. Is it red or black? And I'm going to try and see if I can match up that color. And I believe it is this color. What color are you thinking of?
Black.
Black. We've got a black card. Now focus on the suit of the card. Just the suit. It's a black card, so it has to be a spade or a club. I believe it is this suit. What suit?
Club.
Club? We've got a club. Now focus on the card itself.
Alright.
Nothing more, nothing less. I believe it is this card. What, for the first time in forever, Frozen reference. What card were you thinking of?
7 of clubs.
The 7 of clubs. You said the 7 of clubs? Do you ever have one of those days where nothing seems to go your way? Yeah, me neither. 7 of clubs.
Nice.
So that's the first card trick ever. Thank you.
So if we were to like do this in like super slow motion, could we figure out what your tricks are? Like, are you like on the video here? If someone plays it back, is that a worry?
On some tricks, yes. But on this one, probably not.
Yeah. I just can't. I'm just fascinated by this. I can't even think of a question right now. What other things you got to spit out?
How long into Magic? Okay, let me rephrase that. How long had you been doing Magic before you started learning how to juggle?
I was kind of a little well into Magic. Magic came first, and I was kind of against doing juggling because I didn't really, it scared me, to be honest. I liked watching it. I didn't really like doing it. I didn't really think I could do it.
It scares me to watch
Yes.
it.
Like I said, juggling scared me, and I was kind of against doing it. But my parents bought me juggling balls, and they said, you should learn how to juggle. I'm like, I don't really want to. Thank you, but no. And they got me a DVD and all this, and I tried, and we were, no. And then I had a friend who was also kind of had a minor interest in the stuff that I was doing, and they learned how to juggle. They had already learned how to juggle, and I'm going, okay. And then I saw other people who were like my skill level juggling, going, all right, I'm envious of you. So I learned out of spite. So I learned how to juggle out of spite. So that's why. And I know that kind of doesn't answer your question. I don't remember how long it was into magic that I learned how to juggle, but it was kind of like early-ish on.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we watch some juggling then?
Sure.
We're back for juggling demonstrations. Let's check it out.
All right, we were talking. So we were talking about juggling, and learning how to juggle is actually very interesting. So you first learn how to juggle. You learn how to juggle 1. It's very exciting. Hours of just doing this.
That's about as much as I could handle.
Yeah. And then you learn how to juggle 2. It's still very exciting. Once again, hours of just doing this. This is my whole summer one year of doing nothing but this. These are not jokes, this is my life. And then you learn how to juggle 2 with one hand. Then you learn how to juggle 2 with the other hand. Yeah, there's 2 ways of doing juggling routines with applause. The way that we're doing that. No, please don't. Don't stop. Anyway, so once you master 2, learn how to do 3. And how you learn how to do 3 is you just add the third ball into the pattern.
Are you even letting go of the ball when you're writing?
Shh, don't spoil. And then, fine.
That's so quick though. It's, you can't tell.
Thank you, one person. Okay, so, and then what you can do is you can learn how to do tricks with the balls. You can learn how to do the basic tricks. That's basic, sure. Then you can learn how to do the more complicated tricks that make no sense. And then you can learn how to do the more advanced tricks that take
Goodness.
that take a lot of practice and hopefully get Mike's reaction. And
I'm trying to keep this steady.
all right, and then what you can do is you can learn how to do more than 3 balls. 2 over here plus 2 over here equals 4. That's new math. Thank you. So, now one of the harder things for a juggler to do is to mix the props. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do today. I'm going to attempt. Notice I keep saying attempt because this is not easy. In fact, the part of the show where I juggle is the only part of the show that's real. You can cheat at magic, you cannot cheat at juggling. I tried. I failed. But the 3 items I'm going to try to juggle are, if these can stay on the thing, a blue ball. Starts out normally. Please start. A blue ball, green cup, this is where it starts to get weird. Blue ball, green cup, and a pink duck. By the way, the pink duck's name is Cecile, and she helps me out with the juggling. So everyone say, hi, Cecile.
Hi, Cecile.
Yes, she helps me out with the juggling. So this, and she wants me to tell you that this part of my show has a Cecile of approval. I did not write that. Cecile wrote that. But these are not regular juggling props, which makes sense if I tell you where I got them.
Where'd you get them?
Thank you for asking. Goodwill. Dollar Tree. Gift shop. Not sponsored. But, so, and these are not, since these are not regular juggling props, they're a little bit more difficult to juggle. For instance, this one bounces and kind of rolls away when you drop it. So, and this one tumbles, so it's not straight down like a ball. Here it is for comparison. So it's very fun in the wind, especially here in Colorado where the weather changes every 10 minutes. Case in point, earlier when we were trying to film Corona. But, so, this one bounces and rolls, this one tumbles, and this one isn't all that's quacked up to be. Like I said, I didn't write that. Cecile wrote that. But this is a challenge for me, so here we go. Cup, duck, or ball. Cup, duck, and ball jumper. And by the way, Mike, if you should happen to see that there's a cup, duck, or ball coming at your face, that means there is. It's not an illusion.
Okay.
And if
Thank you for the warning.
And if you should notice that there's a cup, duck, or ball coming at your face, I suggest you duck. I'll admit I wrote that one. So, cup, duck, and ball juggle. And boy, you can bet my parents are proud. Our son, the English major. Here we go. Thank you, one person. Yes. The results of homeschooling. Big finish. Big finish is what every good juggling team needs. I don't have one. So sit back and enjoy this 9-hour medley. Lock the door. Okay, so. Now big finish. Here we go. There we go. Thank you very much. And that is how to juggle.
Wow. The floor is yours.
Okay. Back to sort of what to do when something goes wrong.
Yes.
First of all, I want to ask, have you ever had an experience where you're doing a trick and it just, everything goes horribly wrong?
I'm racking my brain here. Yes. There have been times where it was. I have two stories I could tell, but one, I guess one that's more exciting is one was not my fault and one was my fault. So which one do you want to hear first?
Let's hear the one that wasn't your fault. That way we can shame that other person.
Okay, well, you'll probably regret saying the word shame, but so I was performing at like a event, with lots of booths and companies to help promote the business I was working for at the time, and it was like a school thing. There were like schools and different businesses, and I was trying to get people to come over to their booth with magic. Like, hey, come over here, and so this one very tall gentleman came over, and I was about to show him a trick, and he was with his mom, and I think I got to the premise of the trick. Like, I had just introduced the prop that I'm going to use. Here we have 3 cards, and we're going to do something with 3 cards. And then he stops me like this and goes, Mom. And then his eyes roll back, and he falls down. And he had fainted. And this is a tall guy, just on the ground. Like,
and you blew him away with the premise.
Exactly. That was the joke that everyone else was making throughout the end of the day. Emergency medical assistance came, and I understand they're going, what? So, yeah, and throughout the day, people were making that exact same joke. I guess the magic was too powerful that you made him faint. So that was not my fault, contrary to what people have said. But I can now I kind of want to put that on my resume as I have swept the very bravest off their feet. So,
right.
Yes.
What's the one that was your fault?
This was back when I was still I want to say a beginner, kind of. I got a gig. I was still new to the gig situation. It was my first ever birthday party, and there was a trick that I do in my show that I have updated because of that. I'll just reveal what was supposed to happen. A card was supposed to appear on a hat, and the card, and I tried to put the hat on the volunteer with the card, and it fell off when it wasn't supposed to. Great. So I'm just going, well, was that your card? So that I was not prepared for that to happen at all. I had no backup plan. I had no exit strategies plan. All right, was that your card? All right, get off the stage. Bye.
That's I always kind of wonder how does it fix the situation when something like that happens, but.
I don't think I handled that situation gracefully at the time, but I basically said, was that your card? Cool. Leave.
Right.
Just go. Happy birthday, but go. I want to
Next trick.
Next trick.
All right, so what are some influences you've had for magic? Who are some magicians that you learned from?
Well, I've already mentioned this. Penn and Teller were a big influence on me. And I like their way of thinking about magic as I like their philosophy of telling them that it is a trick.
Right.
It's not, because otherwise you go into the realm of mysticism and leading them down that you really have supernatural powers, and that is dangerous.
And I feel like that's also less impressive. If you're
True.
I feel like it's the impressive part is knowing that it's a trick and not knowing how it's done.
And if you think about it, if I could really float in the air, I wouldn't be doing a podcast right now.
Right.
What do you mean? I don't know. I'm trying to get some mystical beings on here at some point. But actually, I had a thought. I mean, it's clear that you are very talented, both in your presentation, in how you speak, and you're frankly able to use your hands.
Yes.
So you could probably do a lot of different things with your time, both artistically and not artistically. So why magic?
I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before, actually. Because I like harkening back to childlike wonder, kind of, and magic is like the closest thing that I can do. Because when I was younger, I used my imagination a lot, and bless you, and I would use it in. I would just have like all this imagination, and I didn't have anywhere to put. I put it into other thing, and people thought that was weird. Like, why are you running around with a glove and spatula? Like, that's a whole other story for a different time. Different
show for that one.
Different show. If you want to know how my mind works, that's what. But I didn't really have anywhere. I'm just coming up with this answer on the spot, so forgive me if I'm slow at answering it. I didn't really have anywhere to put my imagination, so I guess magic is where I can put my imagination to use, I guess. If that makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I was trying to.
Do you feel like Peter Pan in a way sometimes? Not want to grow up and.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but I don't really need to kidnap other children to come along with me. So
You're enticing us magically to come along with you.
Feels like Peter Pan, except for the problematic parts.
Oh yeah, let's come with me. You don't need your mom. Come on.
Speaking of kids, if any kids happen to be watching this at some point, what would you tell kids who were interested in magic about, what they should look into if they wanted to see if they want to be serious about it?
Well, first subscribe to me. No, so
Of course.
but like I said, just watch videos. I know that's probably not the best advice. Go have screen time. No, make sure that there was an interview that I saw with. I know this is kind of not what you're asking, but there was an interview that I saw with another magician who's like a legendary magic creator, as well as a magician in his own right. He said, learn to be a person first, and then become a magician. Because then don't have magic be your entire personality. Learn to be your own person first. Don't find the magic and then become a person. I kind of did that backwards. I'll admit, because magic kind of like morphed me into the person that I am now.
Well, you started really young. So.
Yeah, so I was always like intrigued, like, ooh, that's cool. But become your own person, and then make that person, and then see how you can. How do I put this? Curate your personality to fit the magic, kind of.
I think I think just for performers in general, that's pretty good advice. I know as a musician, it definitely helps to know yourself and
right.
to have, so that you can express that through music rather than just.
Otherwise, it's just like everyone. You're like everybody else,
right?
Because, like I kind of did that in my early years. I would just do other I'd not try to come up with my own pattern. I would just do other people's pattern. I got laughs. And to be honest, I still gotta do other people's pattern. but don't tell anybody. But
no one sees this anyway.
yeah, but what was I saying? Yeah, I didn't really come up with any of my own things until like a little later when I was in my like teens. I started doing original things like the juggling thing that I showed you. That's like after years of doing that's the Cup Duck and Ball came about because of me watching the Flying Karamazov, old footage of the Flying Karamazov brothers, who are like legendary jugglers, and they do this routine in their show where throughout the show they introduce different items of terror. Like we have a flaming torch, we have a knife, we have a guitar, a skillet, and this is terror object number 1, 2, 3, 4, like random objects. And at the end of their show, they juggle all those. So that was kind of like this is not the question. I know this is not the question, but
I have no idea what the question was at this point. Just keep going.
Yeah, I misdirected you from the question. So I kind of took that and that inspiration and curated it to the Cup Duck and Ball to make it my own. And I think I brought it back into the original question, which is like, how do you put your personality into it, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was the question. I don't remember.
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I imagine there's a lot of cons you could pull off.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to fix the selection thing? Are you the guy who's rigging it? Couldn't you?
If I could, once again, if I could rig it, I wouldn't be doing a podcast right now.
It's gonna make your votes disappear.
I don't. Well, since you're not going to be rigging elections and you're going to be doing legit work, where can people find you for all this legit work?
I am on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I am Miles of Magic on all of those. And on TikTok, it's not Miles of Magic 925 because TikTok, when you create your username, they want you to put in a number. So I put in a Dolly Parton reference, 925. And if you want to see me live, I try to perform at as many open mics as I can. I will be performing here at the Ultra Flat Black on Tuesday, and La Burlabee for their open mic on Sunday. And
Are you going to be making clothes disappear?
no, that's the other people. And and you can also catch me occasionally at the Bar K open mics, and sometime this month, hopefully, if they get back to us, I will be performing at, is it Blue Lucy's? I don't know the exact address, but Blue Lucy's with Tony Cross.
Nice.
Well, speaking of where the places you're performing, of course, Ultra Flat Black is where we are today. Thank you to Ultra Flat Black. We love the open mic every Tuesday at 8. Poetry Slam first Friday of every month, and events on Fridays and Saturdays with music and comedy shows. Please check out Ultra Flat Black. And speaking of magical things in Ultra Flat Black, we should get a little view of all this art here.
Oh, yeah.
We got them all decorated for Halloween, including some art here from Lita Kish of Creepy Sweet Studios. Can we get a little quick view of this stuff here, maybe? What do you think?
We can move.
I mean, there's all kinds of magic you can find. These are puzzles within puzzles. So please check out Creepy Sweet Studios and Ultra Flat Black. Oh, I'm supposed to be talking and doing stuff as you're showing. That's right. Well, we actually, as I will talk, as we were talking about mistakes. This is something all performers get paranoid about. And some people are afraid to do performances because of mistakes. But you are always ready for a mistake and how to turn it around. And we thought this would be a cool closeout. You're going to show us something going wrong and how you're going to fix it.
Okay, well. Alright. I'm going to try to make something intentionally go wrong. Okay, so. Alright, so we have a deck of cards. And what I'd like you to do is just select out any card. Okay? Look at that card, memorize it, and show it to the camera. I'm not looking. Okay? Right. And put it on top. Okay? And we'll cut that into the deck so you remember your card.
Mm-hmm.
Cool? So, I'm going to try and find your card here. Please focus on the card. Are you focused on it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, focusing on something else. Please just focus on the card. Okay. I believe it is. Oh, shoot. Well, I have one card. Yes, I'm committing myself. What was the card?
8 of spades.
8 of spades.
Ah. Nice. So was that, did it actually go wrong?
You'll
Was
never
that,
know.
And that's
guess
just the biggest secret of all the magic.
that's really the magic of it.
You never know what's a mistake and what's on purpose, but it's all amazing.
True.
And it's when it comes from Miles of Magic, it's all brilliantly fun.
Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for coming on the show. It has been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you. And thank you to Fair. Oh, we didn't talk about all the stuff you got coming up. I know we did the clip, but we didn't do the part of the show.
Yeah.
So we should talk a little bit. What's Ferret got going on for the audience?
On October 25th, I'm going to be playing at a Halloween party at 115 Parkside Avenue. And play my video game. Go to ferret.itch.io to play that for free. And, of course, look up my music on all streaming platforms.
And we spell ferret with the
It's Faerret. It's like
special way.
yeah.
Because if you do one letter wrong, you will get another musician who has some very different music, which is cool too. But
very different music. Yeah.
So
One other one that looks like him.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for checking us out, and we will see you next time. All right, it's gonna be a great editing job.
Right.
See you next time on Smokin' Poetry Podcast.